Hello, I'm Mike Borislow, Executive Director of Massachusetts Youth Director of Massachusetts Youth Soccer Association. The purpose of this video is for me to introduce the need for an appropriate fee amount to meet both the current and future needs our statewide membership has and deserves to have provided to them. I will outline our fee structure, discuss specific needs, and introduce the proposal to be brought forth at the AGM on March 13th. At the end, I will provide a date and time of a webinar to provide everybody the ability to do Q&A with us regarding this proposal, as well as another bylaw proposal. During this video, it's possible that it may have edited segments. And the reason is I have a lot of material to cover. And if I make any mistakes, I'm going to just stop and pick it up where I left off, thus not have to start all over again. So I appreciate your patience with that process. Let's start and revisit our mission. As you know, we are under continuous change. Who would have ever thought the past 2 years would have brought on this type of change? Typically, it has to do with laws of the game changes and or changes in age groups or grade groups. Nobody expected us to be hit by a pandemic. And now, more than ever, youth sports is an integral part to helping our children get back on their feet socially, academically, physically, mentally, and start to become a part of society. It is our responsibility to put our children first and to help them out. So we have ongoing development programs that we're constantly working on, and our key focus is safety. We need to provide our children a safe place to play a sport, be it soccer. I'll be going through what I call the cost of providing services and focusing on these categories: risk management, insurance, technology, diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, player health and wellness, labor costs, building and maintenance. But let's take a look at where we are today. Currently, Mass Youth Soccer charges players $17, which $1 goes to U.S. Soccer. That is our national governing body. $2.25 goes to U.S. Youth Soccer. That is our national governing body's youth council member that we belong to. And then $13.75 goes to Mass Youth Soccer, which more or less helps us provide everything that we provide our members at the members location, as well as based at the complex in Lancaster. And our current adult fee is $17. A lot of people ask, well, what am I getting for my money? And sometimes people just think it's insurance. Well, there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes that makes it look so easy for others, in front of the scenes to get things done. I shouldn't say easy. Everything is difficult. Things take work, dedication, but there's a lot that takes place. Mass Youth Soccer is a nationwide leader in these categories: player safety, education, advocacy, and governance. Myself and several board members are recognized by the state of Massachusetts in the work that we do with player safety. I sat on the Governor's Council for Reopening Massachusetts for Youth Sports. We have a board member who sits on a national committee for futsal, as well as referee development. So we've got a lot of things taking place within Mass Youth Soccer that is advocating on behalf of our members to provide the best and safest soccer environment for our children. Mass Youth Soccer manages the required infrastructure to ensure our children have a safe place to play. So we deal with the state agencies, federal agencies, our governing body of U.S. Soccer. This is our responsibility to make sure that we take care of all of these activities and this type of work so that our members at the local level can focus on what should be taking place on the fields. and not what needs to be taking place elsewhere. Strength in numbers. Through the power of association, Mass Youth Soccer is able to negotiate on behalf of our members. This saves our members time, money, and resources. So once again, they can focus on what's important the most, our children, providing them a safe, fun, inclusive, and affordable playing environment. Our focus is getting players onto the fields safely. Mass Youth Soccer ensures that all adult participants have met the required training and screening. We're a one-stop shop. Our member organizations don't need to manage all of this process. Our leaders and volunteers have the industry-leading insurance coverage. Mass Youth Soccer is recognized by the other 53 state associations. Yes, some of those states are split in half, thus we have more than 50, as having one of the best insurance programs in the country. We recognize that it's our responsibility and extremely important that we protect our members at all levels. And Mass Youth Soccer and our member organizations are constantly informed and educated and advocated for by Mass Youth Soccer. We do everything we can at the state office to help our 378 member organizations provide the best soccer experience possible. We like to consider ourselves a trusted resource. We provide mentorship and consultation by our nationally renowned technical and administrative staff, Ian Moliner and Tommy Geis, with the support of Tammy Endow and Jacob Ames, provide incredible opportunities for coaching courses at all levels. We are one of the very few state associations that's able to provide coaching courses at the highest level possible when it comes to coach education. Not only that, but we also provide other resources in education via our coaching conversations, webinars, our other ability for our members to call in with questions and where we provide consultation. We also, through our partners, have a soccer parenting, which is free to every parent and coach in the state of Massachusetts. And through a partnership with the NCSA, it's free college recruiting resources for all high school players. Mass Youth Soccer would like to consider ourselves a truly inclusive environment. We provide affordable programming and events. We have focused efforts for our urban and underserved communities. We have programs such as the Town Select League, which is a gap for those players who are extremely skilled players at the town level, and they're possibly looking to enter the higher club level, but they're looking for a gap program, and that's what the TSL provides. The beauty behind TSL is that it's a program that Mass Youth Soccer runs. All the coaches are under our oversight and perform according to our curriculum. We also have our summer program of District Selects. This is a phenomenal summer program for kids all over the state to participate and enjoy soccer activities during the summertime. And of course, we have our ODP program. Our ODP program has turned out some incredible players. We recently have kids playing on an ODP national team for Brandy Chastain. And we have a very close working relationship with the New England Revs and their academy program. How about when the game isn't going your way? Now, Mass Youth Soccer does provide insurance coverages at all levels. The most common insurance product our members are aware of is our excess medical insurance for member adults and players. Thus, the goal is that any parent should not have any out-of-pocket costs if their child who's a player gets injured. Same thing for a coach. Thus, if there is an injury, our excess medical covers the co-pays and out-of-pocket. We have processes set up to help with governance, grievances, and appeals. Yes, unfortunately, once in a while, some discipline needs to be taken. We have established process and procedures for all of our members. We guide them through the process. We assist. In addition to that, we handle all appeals that come up to the state. And lastly, advocacy at the state, regional, and national levels. I think one of the biggest call outs right here has to do with COVID. A lot of people didn't think that we would be able to play soccer in the fall of 2020, and I was one of them. However, we did everything possible and advocated on behalf of our members to get our children outside and playing the sport. We knew this was a key part of their recovery from the effects of the pandemic, and that went all the way through 2021. So we did a lot of work with the state, national, and regional folks to make that happen. The next several slides will now focus on the cost of providing services and the numbers behind the fee proposal. Let's start with insurance. We all know that things are not the same with regards to what is taking place within the youth sport environment. We have seen an increase in our general liability and excess liability premiums of over 35%, and actually expect them to go up again over the next few years. One of the most dramatic impacts was sexual abuse and molestation policies. In the past, this was covered under our general liability, and now these are additional policies that we need to have in place in order to make sure that our members are covered. Currently, the average settlement of a sexual abuse and molestation claim is just about $1 million. There are several state associations out there who have had several claims where they had to go back to their members to virtually double their fees in order to make these premium payments. Mass Youth Soccer has been very fortunate and very lucky. I covered some of this in our workshop video on insurance several weeks ago, that we have an incredible membership who is very keen and very aware of their responsibility when it comes to abuse prevention. And knock wood 100 times that we have not seen any impact on our programs as of yet. And I say as of yet, because it only takes one case to have a huge impact. We also had to come up with a new policy for directors and officers insurance for our member organizations. We used to have separate policies, one for just, basically one for everybody, both the state office, the state board, and all of our members. Now the insurance carriers are separating the two. So in essence, we have some new insurance policies that are in place for our members. Our premium increase across all lines is just over $125,000 yearly, and it's projected to increase in the near future. Risk management and registration administration. In order for us to make sure that we are in compliance with state, regional, and federal requirements, we needed to beef up our staff under the management of Mary Relic. As you all know, Mary does an incredible job, and she definitely needed the support. So we had a need for additional support staff to properly manage the required functions. We're also going to be dealing with some changes when it comes to background checks. The basic check that Mass Youth Soccer conducts is satisfactory. It meets requirements, but we need to do better than that. We need to make the holes in the net smaller so that we can make sure everybody that's coming on to participate as an adult in Mass Youth Soccer programs has a proper background check conducted. This also may be prompted by the U.S. Soccer and the USOPC, which is the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee, which we all fall under. that they may be also requiring more frequent and higher level checks as well, which along with it come additional expenses. So additional funds required of approximately $110,000 yearly with expected increases in the near future. Some areas that we have been remiss or weak in addressing need to be addressed tomorrow. This has to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, where Master Soccer plans to invest in a program that not only for Master Soccer's employees in Lancaster, but a program for our general membership, to have something available to every single member organization at low to no cost for them to have their boards of directors go through, in addition to making it available to their coaches. Plus, we are taking a look at programs that are specific for players. Yes, we do have some issues and concerns with regards to on-field activities. Most of the time, unfortunately, it's verbal. And we know that we have a need to address this so that our member organizations can better educate their players, our children, about how to treat others fairly with respect and dignity. We all are aware that our players' health and wellness and the need to address this is paramount. So we're taking a look at training programs on mental health for all participants, not only players, but coaches, on how to deal and work with the players and administrators. We're looking at an investment of $25,000 yearly to address these needs. Another key area that we need to focus on is technology. Now, Master Soccer has done everything possible to keep up with the latest technologies available, but we have to improve. We have a need for enhanced marketing and communication tools to provide improved member communications. And a part of this is to attract sponsors and partners. The hard work that Rob Holliday is doing with the support of Jamie Balboni is phenomenal. We have brought on more sponsors over the past few years than we've ever had in the past, but it's not enough. In order for us to make sure we can keep our programs running, our fees as low as possible, more support for our inner city and urban served, more support for Tops Soccer, more support for Goals Soccer, is to bring on more sponsors. And in order to do that, we have to have better technology tools for website marketing, emails, social media, and data management. Also, I know we have a need for improved tournament management services to help out with State Cup and MTOC. And lastly, we have to take a look at an investment in field and hotel reservation systems so that we can more efficiently manage this process to capitalize on getting the best return on our investment on our complex. So the additional technology needs for a new website, management and marketing services is an additional investment of $65,000 yearly. The last two items are extremely important, so no reason why they're last, but as labor costs are increasing, we're all aware of that. It's a very, very competitive market out there. And in order for us to attract employees, we need to pay competitive salaries. At the same time, we need to make sure that our salaries are equitable and fair. Yes, we are a nonprofit, but in order for us to attract the talent that we need to make sure that we are competitive on the market. So we're looking at an overall increase of $90,000 yearly as compared to previous years. Building and facilities, the constant updates and repairs. And so what we're looking at is office building projects not included in the latest bond issue of $5,000 yearly. So those are the key categories for the cost of providing services that we had to take a look at when it comes to our fee proposal. Where have we been with our fees? Well, in 2004, doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but folks, do the math, and it is. We were $11 a player and $11 for adults. We did not have any fee increases for the next 13 years until 2017-18 soccer year. We went to $14 for players and $16 for adults. The primary reason for this increase was risk management and compliance. It was really the investment in our work of using the US Soccer Connect system to help manage all of this activity. 2019 and 20, we had a fee increase because of at that time we had to start doing national background checks, which, as I just noted earlier, we need to actually pick up the pace and the frequency and the type of checks we're currently doing. Expanded liability coverages took place in 2019 and 20. And then we had an increase from US Youth Soccer from $1 to $2.25. So we've had only one fee increase per se, a large one in 14 years, and then a minor one a few years ago. We've always been doing fee increases to catch up to where we should be. Keep in mind that catch up to where we should be. We have rarely, and I don't, in my years of involvement, have we done fee increases to plan for the future. And that is something we need to start doing. So let's take a look at the fee increase that we are going to be taking a look at. There are two ways to view this. One is a budget-based and the other is a CPI-based. Budget-based. If we take the dollar amounts that I reviewed on the previous slides, it totals $420,000. If we take a look at using the CPI or Consumer Price Index as a model, for player fees, if we had a 3% average over the last 5 years, our fees should be totaling $19.19, or 5% average for the last 5 years of $20.81. And by the way, we use 5% CPI for our budgeting models because the cost of providing our services are not your average consumer costs. We have a lot of cost of materials, cost of labor, and the such. I'm not even going to talk about what the CPI is this year. It's pushing the highest ever at 7% plus. So let's just keep it at 3 or 5%. Adult fees, since we had an increase 2 years ago, at 3%, they would be at $18. 5%, they would be at $18.74. But if we use the 10% increase, which is more related to insurance and risk management expenses, the last 2 years of an increase at 10, our fee would be $19.82. So when you compare the two approaches, really what it comes out to is close to a $3 increase is needed to bring us to where we should be today. We don't increase our fees on an annual basis like a lot of state associations do. We don't calibrate frequently or enough, something we're going to need to consider. So if we took a look at a $3 average across the board, that gets us to where we need to be. We're catching up for the last 2 to 5 years. The proposal, as unanimously agreed to by the Mass Youth Soccer Board of Directors, is to go with a $5 increase. Our player fees would be $22 and our adult fees would be $22. The primary reason for going to $5 is to do what we should have been doing all along. That is planning for the future and not reacting to the past. Every time we've had a fee increase, which is only 2 times in the last 17 years, it's always been reactionary to where we need to be to catch up in order to provide our services and membership benefits. What we would like to propose is that we right the ship and steer it in the best direction possible when it comes to fiscal responsibility. Proper responsibility when it comes to budgeting is to set your fees based on what your future revenues and expenses look like. And by going with the $5 fee, it gets us the $3 that we need to get us to where we should be today, and then the additional $2 on top, plans for the increases that we'll be seeing in the next 2 years or 3 years. So what we need to do is plan forward and adequately manage our expected increases in operating costs, namely insurance, risk management, and salaries. And to accompany this is to establish a practice to calibrate all fees every 2 years at a minimum, every 2 years. So 2 years from now, when we start to revisit our fees, if we're in a great shape and we've done proper planning and hopefully we've been able to reduce certain expenses, then no action will need to be taken. And then we can wait another year or 2 years to recalibrate again. But the key is to make sure that whenever we look at our fees going to the future, and this is something every member organization should be doing. Our member organizations are constantly doing their budgets and setting their fees appropriately, but everybody should be looking to plan for the future and not react to the past. So it's important that Mass Youth Soccer put ourselves in that position. Thus, the board is supporting the proposal for a $5 increase. On Monday, February 28th, there will be a proposal Q&A forum. This will be at 7 o'clock. The webinar will be by sign-up only, and there's a link on the Mass Youth Soccer website. If you go to the website and click on events, and then under events, you'll see annual general meeting. And then if you read that page, you'll see the information about some bylaw recommendations, minor bylaw proposals, the candidates that are running for the open positions, and then the fee proposal. And you'll see a link to sign up for the webinar Q&A session that will be held. The purpose of the forum is to answer any questions related to the fee and bylaw amendment proposals prior to the AGM. Now at the AGM, we will accept Q&A at that time, but we're using this method to try and answer as many concerns, thoughts, questions, comments that people have ahead of time to facilitate a smoother AGM. I thank you very much for listening and reading and watching this video. I apologize if it went longer than you expected, but as you can see, this is very important to the continued positive health of Mass Youth Soccer. Just like to close by thanking everybody for everything that you do to provide our children with the safest, healthiest, most nurturing sport environment through the game of soccer. Thank you.